Hello everybody, hope everyone is doing well, staying safe and healthy, and happy Mother's Day to all those mothers out there. I know I'm a couple of days late, but anyway, we can still wish everybody happy Mother's Day. I had a great day. My best friend and I got away for the weekend. Her parents own a lake house, and the two of us went for a couple of days, and I really enjoyed that. It's so peaceful there, and we drink lots of coffee, we sit on the porch, we read books, we have great conversations, and it was just a time that was needed, and I enjoyed being away for a couple of days. And then I came home, and my kids bought me different things, and I got Dave fixed me a nice dinner, and we enjoyed our time with the kids, and my mom came out. And I wanted to show you, this is one of my shirts that I got, Gram 1, because I have little Mia. She's our grandbaby that's about, I think she's 8 months old already. That's so crazy to me. But anyway, then I got another shirt that says Mom 5 on it to represent my 5 kids that I have. But anyway, had a great Mother's Day. Hope all you mothers out there also had a great Mother's Day. So let's get to my reflection today. It is found actually in 1 Thessalonians. As I was reading these scriptures and looking at the commentary that went along with it, it was pointing out that Paul gives examples of how we can be encouragers. And I wanted to talk about that today because I think it's important for us to be encouragers. Always have something nice and helpful in our conversation and words to those around us. So I was telling my best friend this weekend what I was going to talk about, and she reminded me of a party that we had. When I thought about doing this, I didn't remember. And so anyway, she was like, remember many years ago, we hosted a party and we called it the encouragement party. And I thought, man, how great was that? And she was like, we are encouragers. But anyway, we were so excited. I remember this. We talked briefly about it. But anyway, we were so excited as we were planning for this party, and we got the idea that we were going to get several of our friends together. We were going to just have some light snacks and stuff, but we were going to get together, sit around a table, and write out letters or notes to send to people just to encourage them. And we had everything we needed. Our table was decorated. We had different stationery set up. We had note cards. We had different styles and colors of pens. We had envelopes. We had stamps. And we even put together a little goodie bag for each of our friends that was invited to come. And we just had, I don't know, this is so funny. The only thing I can really remember that we put in it was gum. We had gum in it, but I know we had a bunch of other goodies in there because Rachel and I just do things right like that. But anyway, we were so excited. And when the day came, one friend showed up. Just one. And we were a little disappointed at first, but as we got started, the three of us had the best time. We had a great time, and the one friend that showed up, she loved it. So she was so thankful that we had this time set aside where we could just sit and write letters and note cards and things, because she lived away from her family and enjoyed being able to do that, to create these notes and cards to several of us. I don't even know how many she wrote, but she wrote lots and several when we were sitting there. So anyway, the day did not go to waste. Our encouraging party, you know, some people might have said that it was a flop. I say that it wasn't. Because we had a great time, and time together is time not wasted when you are having a great time. and encouraging each other and just spending time with each other and having good conversation. But anyway, so that was our encouragement party. We have not had one since, but maybe we should try again. But anyway, in 1 Thessalonians 5, starting in verse 11, Paul gives us a checklist, a list for encouragers. And I love being an encourager. I love doing it. When I know that I am meeting someone, when they call me, send me a text and say, hey, I need to talk, that as I prepare for us to be together wherever we're going to meet, I always pray and I ask the Lord, Lord, please help me to say the right things. Help me to be encouraging. Help me to say your words. Let them, as they hear me speaking or sharing, let them weed out to what is the truth that they need to hear for that day. I always pray that prayer because it's important to me that when people are trusting me in my friendship to come together to listen and to encourage them, I want it to be the best that it can be. So I always say those prayers. And I love words. I love words. I love encouraging words. I love t-shirts. As you can see, I have this one on. I love t-shirts that have words on them. And I just want it to be short and simple. Nothing crazy with a lot of words on it, because if it's got too many words on it, then people can't really read what you're trying to convey. So I love to wear shirts that are encouraging. I have one that my sister gave me, and it says, be kind on it. If you can be anything, be kind. And I love wearing that shirt. I have another one that says blessed, because I feel very blessed. I have my new one that says Graham 1. I love that, so people know I'm a Graham. And then I love any kind of mama shirt. I have a Mama Bear shirt. I had the world's coolest mom shirt that the boys gave me years ago that I still have it somewhere. But anyway, then I have my new shirt that says Mom 5 on it. And so anyway, I love words. And so let's look at what Paul writes in the scriptures. What are his words to us today? He wrote these many, many, many years ago in the New Testament, but his words are for us today. So do you want to be an encourager? I know I do. So let's look and see these specific examples that he gives us. So first I'm just going to read the scriptures. So I am in 1 Thessalonians 5. I'm going to start in verse 11. It says, so encourage each other and build each other up, just as you already are doing. Dear brothers and sisters, honor those who are your leaders in the Lord's work. They work hard among you and give you spiritual guidance. Show them great respect and wholehearted love because of their work, and live peacefully with each of them. Brothers and sisters, we urge you to warn those who are lazy, encourage those who are timid, and take tender care of those who are weak. Be patient with everyone. So let's just look at these words that Paul wrote as a checklist for us. So let's start in verse 11. It says, so encourage each other and build each other up, just as you are already doing. Hopefully you are already doing that. I know I try to do that. I think that, you know, God puts us together in our circle with our friends specifically because they need us. They need things from us. They need, I know David is that for me. He watches all of these videos that I make before I post them, and because I want to make sure that what I am conveying to you, it lines up with the word. He's so encouraging and with me doing this, and so it builds me up. So number one, build each other up point out to someone the quality you appreciate in them. So that is so important. And on Facebook the other day, I have a friend that posted, her name is Michelle, but my friend Michelle posted the other day on Facebook. This is what she posted. Curious if I was never around tomorrow, what's the one thing you would remember about me? Just hoping I made a difference in someone's life. So when I read that, I immediately responded. Michelle is a friend that I had in junior high school. We became friends. We were best friends, actually, in junior high school. And then when we got into high school, she moved off. But before that, we saw each other at school. Her grandfather actually lived a couple of houses down from where I lived. And so I got to see her when she was visiting him. And at some point, she moved away. And then her family moved back because when we were in high school, I think it was our junior year, and because I remember us going to prom together and being in school together, and then she actually moved away again because we did not graduate. But anyway, this is my friend Michelle, and this is how I know her. So I responded, as a dear friend, I will remember her as a dear friend. No matter how many years are in between, we can always say that we are friends and we've had some really great times together when we were in school. You showed me that it doesn't matter what side of the tracks that you grow up on. You matter, and no matter what kind of family you have to endure, you can take those experiences and make a better life for you and yours. I love you, my friend. And so we did live on the wrong side of the tracks growing up, whatever. And we both had families that were trying in our years, growing up years. But she and I both took those experiences to make our life better and better for our kids. She responded to me, okay, that made me cry. I love you so much, Robin. Even though the years we were not in touch because of moves, I always think of you and the wonderful friendship we have. So happy we are connected again. So this was just me building her up. And I love that she posted that because I believe that we should tell people while they're here with us what they mean to us and talk to them about those qualities in their lives that we appreciate. So that's verse number 11. So let's look on to verse 12. It says, honor those who are leaders in the Lord's work. They work hard among you and give you spiritual guidance. So this verse basically is telling us to give honor to leaders. We should think highly of our leaders, and we should look for ways to cooperate with them. This is how we can be encouraging to them and what the Lord has called them to do. Our pastors of our church, we have 7 or so staff pastors, and I appreciate every single one of them. What they do at our church is amazing. Every single one of them hold a different personality, quality, characteristics that brings our church pastoral staff together, and it's just amazing to me. And so I try my best to always think of ways that I can just encourage them, mostly like when they are doing things inside their ministries. I like on it on Facebook. I love it on Facebook. I share it on Facebook. I appreciate our youth pastors right now because my boys are at that age where they're in those ministries. And I try to support them because what they do, they work hard. It's a hard job. And so I know this is talking about the Lord's work, but I also want to always be careful that my job that I have at my school, our principal, the staff at the school, they are awesome. And I always want to honor them. They are the best. And so when I'm there, and I want to do my very best, because I know that I represent them in our school. So we need to think highly of them. Look for ways to cooperate with them. Verse 13 tells us, show them great respect and wholehearted love because of their work, and live peacefully with them. So don't have critical, negative comments. Don't withhold those and of people in position, because I have learned through all these years of ministry. David and I have been in ministry for full-time ministry for 28 years now, and we've learned so much through everything that we have been through. And one thing that we have learned is not to be critical. We need to be encouraging, because God has placed these individuals in these positions. He has set up the shepherds of these flocks, and we are to support them. And Dave and I have been before on the ugly end of this, and it's not nice. It's not a fun place to be. It's not encouraging at all. It's very painful and hurtful. And so we want to be sure that we are encouraging and we're holding our critical thoughts and opinions to ourselves. We need to give wholehearted love. We need to say thank you to our leaders. It's important because their efforts are great. We need to avoid fighting, quarreling with them, and we need to search for ways to get along. I know we're not going to get along with every single thing that is said and done. Our opinions may be different, but guess what? You can get along. Sometimes you just have to agree to disagree, and that's okay, but you have to fall in line with that leadership that is above you. You fall in line with them because they are there for that purpose. And so be sure that you are building them up. So let's look at verse 14. It says, brothers and sisters, we urge you to warn those who are lazy, encourage those who are timid, take tender care of those who are weak, and be patient with everyone. So the first one I want to look at is warn the lazy. So how can we encourage them? How can we build them up? How can we lift them up? One thing that I know, that if somebody is, to me, somebody being lazy, maybe somebody is not joining in a group. They're kind of just sitting aside and complaining that they don't have any friends, that they don't have a circle of supporters. I would challenge them to come alongside of me. If I know that there is a lady that is maybe a part of our church, and she's new, she may be looking for places. Not that she's lazy, but maybe that she is looking for places. So I'm going to invite her to be a part of the women's group, be a part of David's Sunday school class. If they're the college age, I am going to encourage them to come and be a part and get involved. Also, the second part of that says to encourage those who are timid, encourage those who are frightened. Now, this is important because we can remind people of God's love, of God's promises in this situation, God's promises. So many of you know that I have a ministry. It's called Cross Heart Ministries, and I am a a part of a baby loss community because of the experiences that we have had in our loss with our losses with John David and all the miscarriages that I've had. So so I am in this situation a lot when I am talking to individuals about them being afraid, them being timid about something, being going through grief and everything that brings. First, what I always do is validate their feelings, because those feelings are real. If they're scared about something, you may look at that and think that is silly, but I mean, it's not. Validate their feelings. They may feel like, their world is falling apart. To them it is. I mean, I've been there and I have felt that. So validate their feelings first, because when you validate their feelings, then they're more open to really listen to the encouraging words that you have to share with them, God's promises that you have to share with them. And so that is a way that we can encourage people in those situations. Also, we want to tenderly care for the weak, support them through love and prayers. And David and I, we feel like that is a very important part of the ministry that God has called us into, is supporting people that are struggling, that are having a hard time, no matter what it is. David does a lot of counseling. God uses him in those counseling sessions to minister to their hearts. He is loving on them, praying for them, giving them the words that God puts on his heart and mind. God uses him and gives him those words to share with them so that they can be touched and helped. These are all things that we can do to encourage one another. So be sure that you're taking tenderly care of the weak. We have to be tender because what they're going through is real and hard. And the last part of that was to practice patience. I know sometimes when we are encouragers, sometimes you can be with a friend that just wears on you, that it's a lot. Being their friend, being their encourager is a lot, but we have to be patient with them. And so we have to practice that patience. Think of situations that try your patience. So go ahead and plan ahead. Think of ways that you can handle that calmly with them so you are not getting frustrated or saying things that later on you're going to regret. So we just have to be patient with people also as we encourage them. So today our thoughts, the reflection, let's wrap this up. We are to build each other up. That was in verse 11. Build each other up. Verse 12 told us to give honor to those leaders in our life. Verse 14 says, be there for people, warn the lazy, comfort the frightened, tenderly care for the weak. So we want to take care of them and always be patient. So these are just examples that Paul gives us in Thessalonians 5. And I'm just going to pray right now for you, because I know for me, I always want to be sure that my words, I love words, that my words are encouraging, because I mean, they're not always encouraging. I can think of situations with my boys, with my husband, with well, just mostly them. Words that are not encouraging at all. But let's just ask the Lord to help us right now. Lord, help us to be encouraging. Let us to remember all of these examples that you showed us through Paul as he wrote in 1 Thessalonians. Help us to live our lives, to strive to shine bright so that they see you in everything that we say and do. Lord, thank you for everybody that is listening today. Thank you that they are looking into your word with me, and that they have a heart to be an encourager. Father, use them, minister through them, and help them to be able to be available for these situations in each and every one of their lives. Thank you, Lord. We praise you and we bless you. Amen. Okay, friends, that is all for today. I hope and pray that the Lord continues to bless you and keep you during this time. I love you, and we will talk again soon. Bye-bye.